Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning. Welcome to today's Shotsuki Monthly Memorial and Atomic Bomb Memorial Service. My name is Howard Shintani, and I'll be your chairperson for today. Reverend Fujimoto will read the names of those who passed away in the month of August. Those observing the month memorial for the loved ones, please come forward and offer incense.
Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. The months are going by quickly, huh? Hard to believe it's August already. But nice when you come to the first service of the month and the Shotsuki families come in. So it's a little bit different each month and pleasant surprise to see the families coming in for Shotsuki to observe, recollect and appreciate those they have lost in their lives. So thank you very much. As Howard has mentioned, please come up and offer incense or shoko during the reading of the names. Abe, Alice, Abel, Ando, Yoshio, Di Stefano, Ethel, Norel, Furuzawa, Infant, Masatomi, Hashimoto, Hiroko, Hashimoto, Jimmy, Hashimoto, Yasuhiko, Hattori, Kazue, Hidani, Kyoko, Hidalgo, Janice, Higashi, Kazuko, Hirotsuka, Infant, Honda, Tatsuo, Su Wei, Ikegaki, Yoshio, Imazumi, Nobue, Inoue, Tomio, Ishii, Infant Isamu, Iwahashi, Paul K., Kanzaki, Kiyoshi, Kataoka, Masao, Kawauchi, Infant Izumi, Kitashima, Roy, Konishi, Pat T., Buge, Naoyoshi, Marubayashi, Infant Shinogu, Matsubara, Taichi, Matsumoto, Infant Chiyoko, Michisaki, Wakataro, Mitani, Kyoko, Miyawaki, Takao, Mori, Kazuo, Mune, Hisataro, Nagasugi, Kunio, Nakamura, Hideko, Nishida, Ichiro, Nomura, Jin, Akiko, Nakano, Oba, Toji, Oishi, Tsugi, Okamoto, Virginia T., Peterson, Lois, Saito, Yoshi, Sakamoto, Tsuneji, Shibata, Yoshio, Shimada, Kazuo, Shirai, Infant, Akira, Shiraishi, Ushitaro, Sugino, Maki, Sugiyama, Kimiko, Takahashi, Takashi, Takao, Mitsue, Takada, Infant, Isamu, Takeda, Mildred, Takeda, Shizu, Tamura, Mana, Terao, Ura, Tsuchiya, Miyano, Tsurumoto, Matsutaro, Ushiyama, Uchiyama, Fui, Uo, Shoichi, Ushijima, James K. Wada, Mitsue, Wong, Liu Bi-yun, Lin Bi-yun, Yamasaki, Infant Tomie, Yamashita, Furu, Yamashita, Haruno, Yamashita, Masao, Yamashita, Shoichi, Yamashita, Toshio, Yanagi, Kazutomo, Yoriji, Ichi, These are the Shotsuki names for the month of August. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office. Thank you.
We will now have Sambujo on page 24 and 25, followed by the reading of Byokumon.
Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki Service for the month of August in our Atomic Bomb Memorial, members of our temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kya Butsu, Namo Kya Ho, Namo Kya So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
And now we will have sutra chanting, Amida Kyo on page 103. 103.
阿弥陀経。行政がも一時仏在、社営国美寿、気候特本、如来、陸主千人、150人空海世、大阿羅漢、修正、知識、長老、シリホマカ、無権伝、マカカ、ショマカカ、千年、マカクチラ、リハタ、シュリ、アンダガ、ナンダ、アナンダ、ラゴラ、トモン、マライ、ミンズル、アラダ、カルダイ、マカコヒナ、アクラ、アヌルラ、ヨセト、将来弟子、上昇菩薩、マカ、サモンジュシリ、オージアイタ菩薩、ケンダ、カタイ菩薩、上昇、人菩薩、ヨニョ、ゼト、将来菩薩、旧釈来カニと、無料商店、来祝意義、仏語長老、シャリオ、十世最後、果樹万の仏道、世界の万国楽語と仏語、阿弥陀根源在説法、シャリオ、広がこ、上位極楽五国主上無宿、単樹将楽公明、極楽シャリオ、極楽国土、七十何十、七十何も、七十五十、大勢四方、修相、陰陽税公理、国明万極楽、シャリオ、極楽国土、無死法知薬、特水十万五中自体順に根社無事支援会の根本ルリハリ五条上部の各役位根本ルリハリ社交釈主名の理言色師知修連芸大名者に小式小公大式大公釈式釈公百式百公微妙高血者理法国乱国土上重行政空毒将軍武者理法義部国土調査見学黄金一昼夜六時二分万ならけ広告修上上位小単各位英国上州養鶏不要他方十万六仏即位直時伝統本国本地教養大王国乱国土上重行政空徳将軍物資シャリ法医国上数十奇妙雑式市長断国空着法務シャリ下領便談無名市長税所州庁長や六時水湾 けを公年長合根合力七宝大文八正道文行政東方修正門税本人開始念仏念法念祖サリホ四物意識超実小医者ら異国国土無三幕宗国土小無三幕同士行学教実宗長大勢阿弥陀仏力量本宣部天慶正三シャリボイブ国土未不水道小五十九ラボ水未妙音奇妙三千十五時空三門税音社会費年上念仏念法念相死心シャリホ国土小十行税空読書言
Please stand for the Gatha Namu Amida Butsu on page 174 and remain standing for the reading of the three treasures on page 8.
treasures. Number one, hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Now, Reverend Fujimoto will share a Dharma talk with us.
Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Good morning again. Okay, so each August we have this special service along with the Shotsuki. Uh, we have our atomic bomb memorial service, and it's going to become our tradition to go outside after the service to hang our Origami Tsuru on the gates, and they are left there for the week, and we'll pick them up before the next week's service, but very timely to hang the uh, origami, and they're always so pretty and colorful. Usually we oshoko out there, we take a little picture of our small group, and then so that's our right after service, we'll go out there, hang the tsuru, take a picture, oshoko, then we'll come back for our treats, okay? So that's going to be our plan. There's so many stories when we think about atomic bomb at the end of World War II, and it's been many, many years now, but uh, some of the stories just so touching, very poignant stories. And when we think about the colorful origami that are hung, we do think about the story of Sadako. Sadako Sasaki has kind of become a symbol of the impact of nuclear war, the dropping of the bomb. She lost her life. And before that, she was folding all these origami cranes. So when the bomb struck, she was a 2-year-old, just a very young age, but she was affected by the fallout from the bombing. And so a couple of years later, she developed uh, leukemia. I think she was able to live until 10 before the leukemia came and really impacted her. So the last 2 years, she lived till 12 years old, but she had heard about this uh, kind of tradition or wish that if you folded 1,000 origami cranes, a wish would come true. Right? So her and her family, friends, started to fold all these origami cranes and was able to make the 1,000 paper cranes. I don't know what her wish was. Right? Whether it was for her own health or whether it was for to no more bombs to be dropped. I'm not really sure of what her wish was. But they folded all these cranes, and still today, uh, children read the story, a book of her life, and they are impacted. They fold cranes so regularly that people from all over are sending boxes, 1,000 cranes that they folded from so many different places. And you could see this when you go to the Hiroshima Peace Museum and see some of them. And her cranes, some of them are so small, like fingertip, and she used a little needle to help to fold, crease, and keep the folds on the crane. So they have a plaque at the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. It says, "This is our cry. This is our prayer. Peace in the world. This is our cry. This is our prayer. Peace in the world." And so, we think about little Sadako and holding all these cranes. And, it's kind of like, you think about a a pond, calm water, and you throw a rock in the middle of the pond and you see this reverberation coming from the splash, right? And the same thing that her impact reverberating through the world, through the universe, her hope for peace and impacting so many people. So the water expanding has touched us. How many years ago when we first heard this story? How many years ago since we first learned about the bombing? Maybe our own families were impacted. I always think of Reverend Kusada at the Institute of Buddhist Studies is one of our very, very dear teachers. Uh, Reverend Tetsuo Uno described uh, Sensei as he has a quiet power, so soft spoken, but very strong in how he would teach and what he would do, and leading our chanting classes. And we're scared to death to chant in front of him, and we're just at these little tables like we have in the social hall. So he's like 3 feet away from you, right? Right. Itte kudasai, right? And he would chant, and we are supposed to recite, uh, duplicate his chanting, and nowhere to hide. You can't run away. You can't say no, thank you. But he would just be persistently quiet. It's your turn now. It's your turn now, right? And through that, uh, develop your confidence, your voice to be able to chant, not only to chant, but learning to lead, learning all the different chants. And this is his impact. And because he was a survivor of the bombing, uh, the Japanese government would pay his way to go back to Japan every year, and they would uh, check his body, his senses, and all his organs, and see how over time, how was the impact of the bomb on this person, this person, this person. Get these records and records. So personally, I feel this reverberation that touched Kusada Sensei, touching me, touching my family, touching my work, touching Alameda. So all of these continue, and have these, we feel these in different ways, depending on how we were impacted along the way for our own families or people we have come to know. Okay. And there's another uh, person, Takashi Tanemori, and he was also close to the bombing when he was a child, and he grew up. He's lived in Berkeley, and maybe in his 90s now, but later 90s. So he decided to share his story, and he would be invited to different schools, and one time invited to UC Davis campus. And he starts by telling you, "I want you to come with me to August 6th, 1945." And from there, with those words, he would describe uh, his experience, what happened to him And at that time, he was a second grader uh, living in Hiroshima, less than a mile from where the bomb dropped. And just a child, he's playing hide and seek with his friends, and all of a sudden, the bomb was dropped. Uh, and playing with his friends, he said that's the last thing he remembered for a while. He said he saw this flash in the sky. A second later, the explosion took place. And I like how he said it, but all the color was confiscated. Uh, All the color was confiscated. It all happened in pure whiteness. A moment later, the whiteness turned to darkness, and then he could smell the heat coming closer and closer. So, very descriptive words that he was able to use, later in life, coming to America, learning the English language, and how he described those moments that he went through. All the sound of the universe exploded. He saw orange, red, blue flames approaching the school, and he heard his classmates crying. So, really impacting him. And after the explosion, I guess he was in the rubble, a Japanese soldier came out, dug him out from under the rubble, and carried him uh, behind the school. There's a river, the river bed beach, and laid them down. And others were laying there too. So lots of people impacted by the bomb, and he was one of them. Right. Some of the scenes he described. I think I won't share them today, but horrific scenes that he was able to witness, and as he was being carried by this soldier, just looking at these other people around him, some of the things I cannot erase from my mind, right? So then after he is laying there for a while, he heard his father's voice calling him, and then eventually his father came to be next to him, and he thought finally he's safe, hearing his father's name, and for a moment anyway, forgot everything that was happening around him. So in his family, there's like a samurai family lineage, and he felt this sense of responsibility. It was only a few months later that his father passed away from the sickness that he received, from the bombing. Um, and then when he was a teenager, he went to his father's grave and uh, maybe saying the Nembutsu, thinking of his father, thinking of all his experiences. I think he was 16 years old at that time, and he thought he's the oldest son of the family. He should avenge his father's death, right? So he made a plan to come to America, and the plan was to uh, get vengeance. So this was the motivation for his life. But he also remembered later his father telling him, knowing who you are, believing in who you are, that will take you through hardships. So this is also something that his father shared with him and would come back to him in his adulthood. You know? So during those times when he was the little boy in Hiroshima, I could see the fire roaring here and the water became turbulent, maybe like a tsunami sense the water's coming up, and so makes us think of the river of fire, river of water, the story, Buddhist story that we hear often, but he's sitting in the middle of all this, and because of the water rising, bodies would float up closer and closer and be banging along the piers of their dock and things like this, and he remembers all of these things. So when he was 18, he came to America and making his own life and all the difficulties that our Issei had to endure, trying to find a way, getting sick, going to hospitals and things like that. And um, went to Minnesota and found someone, fell in love, and they were planning to get married. And uh, initially, they refused to give him his marriage license because he was told, "We don't want people affected by the bomb to have babies here in America." So, even here in America, he had such a difficulty, but eventually he was able to get married, and still having difficulties wherever he went, right? Even uh, felt rejected by the Japanese community because he was at the bombing kind of thing. I'm not really sure why he would be ostracized for being there, but uh, lots of things. So in one of his interviews, he was asked about his promise to avenge his father's death. What happened to that? And he said his father also told him that the greatest way to take vengeance on your enemy is by learning to forgive. So, he had his own sense of wanting to get vengeance for his father's death. And then at the same time, these words from his father would come back to him different times, different pieces. As he got older, they came to mean more and more to him. So he was here, had been here a while. He remembered those words from his father, and he's driving across the uh, San Francisco Bridge, Bay Bridge, and thinking of that. And so that day, driving across this Bay Bridge, he gave up his vow for vengeance and devoted himself to fostering forgiveness, fighting against fear, fighting against hatred. So through that uh, renewed idea of how he should approach things, he decided to share his story, go to different groups and talk to them, uh, let them know that horrific experience that he went through. He had lost both his parents, two of his sisters, his eyesight, most of his eyesight, and all of these things. So now change his mind, promoting forgiveness. The best thing to make the world safer is know who you are and honor your heart. That's what my story, my experience in Hiroshima taught me. So I think you can hear reflections of what he remembered his father telling him. So a lot to think about, kind of a somber thoughts when you think about the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and uh, this memorial that we have each August. But I think it's very impactful for us, reminding us of how to carry ourselves, reminding us of the value of peace, the value of everyone getting along, making our world safer, doing what we are able to do. Please join me in Gasho. I'll read this quote from the Tanisho. However much love and pity we may feel in our present life, it is hard to save others as we wish. Only in saying the Nembutsu is the mind of great compassion that is thoroughgoing. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. So when I think about this quote, I think we have our own ideas of how we want to impact the world, and some of them become very self-centered. We have our own calculation that's always involved in how we look at things, how we view things. And um, when I think of his words, his father's words, uh, to know who you are, not just you as an individual, but you as part of this infinite reality. And the Nembutsu helps us to recognize that we are part of this infinite reality, not just my own self centered thoughts that I want this to be the way, I want this to happen in the world, this is the better way, right? Not this self centered perspective, but this deeper, wider perspective. And so this is why it's saying the Nembutsu, awaken ourselves, then that's the way to know ourselves. Know who you are, and then honor your heart. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Fujimoto. Okay, please stand for the Gatha Nembutsu 1 on page 169.
Please be seated.
Okay. Thank you for those who helped with the altar preparations and with the service. Reverend Fujimoto, you two, Morgan and Brian, altar flowers, Jane, organist, Lenny, and those who brought refreshments for today service. All right, is there any newcomers today? Okay. Okay, Odie's but goodies here. Okay. Um, all right, announcements. Okay, next Sunday, August 9th, or Sochukai, it's the Bishop's Memorial. This service to acknowledge the lives and efforts of the past bishops of the Buddhist Churches of America. Also, Renyo Shonin Memorial and Birthday Sunday. Yippee. Guest speaker, Didi Didai. Oh, where are we? Lewis. From the Berkeley Buddhist Temple will be our guest speaker. He's really neat. He's just cool. Okay. Let's see, where are we? No service on August 16th and the 23rd. It's vacation. Yay. Okay. Also, no service on August 30th because it's the fifth Sunday of the month. Next Friday, August 7th, is the last drop off for the Abwa clothing drive. It's from 11 to 4. Any other announcements? Oh, who wants to go first? Brian? Joyce? Oh, Brian to go first.
I'm not gonna get all the info right. It's just which is embarrassing. But this Friday is gonna be a Valkyrie's watch party at the temple. Please, by all means, come potluck, bring some food. I don't remember what time. The time is in the Upaya, so check that out. And thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Joyce.
For our 110th anniversary, if you haven't reserved your bento, you can do it either online or you can tell me today. You have until actually August 28th to notify or sign up for your bento. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have one.
Oh, Sensei.
Okay, we have some people here that are not always here. So let me add this as part of the 110th anniversary. Uh, we're going to have our Kiyashiki, and so you have an opportunity to receive your Buddhist name. And if you have not done so, you can find the proper registration forms and bring in your suggestions of you will be selecting one kanji character. The office of the bishop, Bishop Harada, will select the second kanji and you will have a Buddhist name. So this will take place before our 110th anniversary service. So the morning of that service, we're going to have a special affirmation ceremony. So it's a real opportune time to receive your Buddhist name. Okay. You won't be up here in a casket or anything, right? You'll actually be here in person to receive your name. So let us know. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I'd like to thank everyone for attending this morning's service. Please come up to offer incense. In observance of the atomic bomb memorial, we'll be hanging origami trains outside onto the gates. Afterwards, join us for refreshments. Thank you.